What's going on, everybody? It's Nick with Facemask Fantasy, sharing my trade targets ahead of Week 2. This list will comprise of a combination of players with high expectations, as well as players who might just serve as decent depth for the time being. We're ultimately looking for value, as always, so generally speaking, I'm looking to capitalize on a player I believe in, despite a recent poor performance or even a couple of recent poor performances relative to expectations. Remember, never sell low, but always look to buy low. Ahead of Week 2, the first name I'm looking at is Falcons wide receiver Drake London. You're not likely to get a huge discount because London was just drafted in the second round of most redraft leagues. But if the London owner in your league is panicking after a rough Week 1 outing and a poor overall showing by the Falcons offense, check the temperature on what might get a deal done. Kirk Cousins is still working his way back from a torn Achilles suffered last season and may need a few more weeks to get his sea legs under him. Not to mention, this is a whole new offense and new pass catchers that he's working with, so connecting with them may take a little bit more time as well. If London falters for a second straight week as the offense continues to gel, it'll present a prime opportunity to dangle a discounted offer for a wide receiver that should end up commanding a sizable target share when it's all said and done. A tentative add to this list is Titans running back Tyjae Spears. Prior to the Week 1 game against the Bears, reports were that this would be a 50-50 backfield with Spears evenly splitting the work with Tony Pollard. That didn't come to fruition, as Pollard outsnapped and outtouched Spears by a sizable margin. It's certainly possible the report of an evenly split backfield was smoke and mirrors, and that Tennessee always had designs to have Pollard lead the backfield. But I'm willing to bet that not every single game will play out like Week 1, and that Spears will have a larger role as the season progresses. He forced a timeshare with Derrick Henry last year, after all. If you could use some cheap running back depth, you should be able to get a decent discount for the homegrown back that the team just recently invested a third-round pick in. Switching gears back to wide receiver, but staying in the AFC South, go kick the tires on Christian Kirk. Jacksonville only threw the ball 21 times against Miami, and Trevor Lawrence only completed 12 passes. Lawrence cleared both of those numbers with relative ease in every game he played in 2023. So it's safe to assume the passing volume will bounce back in the coming weeks, and Kirk should be a direct beneficiary of that. He had only 4 targets Week 1, but that number will go up. Remember, Kirk missed a bit of time toward the end of preseason nursing injuries, so he should ramp up as soon as Week 2. Expect better volume moving forward, and see if you can pry him away if the Kirk owner is worried about Brian Thomas's emergence. This same logic does apply to tight end Evan Ingram, but he may be harder to negotiate on because of the tight end landscape and the lack of consistent available options. But it's worth the conversation in the event the Ingram owner has another viable tight end option on their roster that they could theoretically pivot to. As far as a potential offer you could make for these guys, always trade from a position of strength if you have one. Consider a player on your bench who overperformed Week 1, but still isn't worth considering for your own starting lineup because you have other high-end options to turn to, or again, strong depth in general at the position. Let me know if you have an idea for a trade in your league, or if you have potential negotiations ongoing that you'd like some thoughts on. Till then, this is Nick with Facemask Fantasy. Thanks for listening.